Hello everybody, welcome to tech tip number 12, using a laptop as an external monitor, a wireless monitor on another laptop. So let's get started here. What the premise of this is quite simple. You have a laptop or a desktop, it really doesn't matter. And you want to use a second screen. And you don't have another monitor per se, but you do have another laptop or Surface or some device like that. And you can use that device as an external monitor on your main device. And it's pretty simple. You can do this with any device that is running Windows 10, one of the latter versions of Windows 10. I can't remember what the feature number was, but if you're updated in Windows 10, you'll be able to do this. And any version of Windows 11 will be able to do this as well. The only other requirement is that both devices have to be connected to the same wireless network because it's going to use the Wi-Fi signal to do this. So we're going to use, this is a Surface Book 3, this is a Surface Pro 6 or 7, and we're going to use this as a second monitor to this guy, and it's going to be wireless. So as you see, there's no cables. I mean, I am charging it, but that's the only cable connected right now. And we're going to use this as an external wireless monitor to this guy. And just to show you that it is a full computer, let me get my face over here to unlock it. And as you'll see, we don't need a keyboard or anything. I'm going to keep the keyboard connected for now just to install a little window, a free optional feature. The only other requirement is that we have to install this little optional feature that I'll show you right from the Windows apps page. You'll see what I'm talking about. In the past, if you're running an older version of Windows 10, you had to download this application from the Windows Store called like Microsoft Wireless Display. No, that was for the adapters, wireless monitor, something like that. But you no longer have to do that. So the only thing we have to do is install this optional feature on both systems, and both devices have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. So let's get started. I'm going to come around here. Let me lower the camera just a little bit so you can see both systems. There we go. And so let's start on this one. We're going to go under Settings. I'm going to click on Apps. And right here you have optional features. Let's tap on that guy. So you might already have some optional features installed. I'm going to click on View Features right here at the top to add a new feature. And you can either type in wireless or just scroll all the way down and you're going to see this option here, wireless display. Put a check in that box and click Next and click Install. While that one's installing, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Go to Settings, go to Apps, Optional Features, View Features, and all the way down, wireless display. All right, let's give that just a moment to install on both devices. So I guess this is a good moment while both of these install here. I always like to tell you of different verses of the Bible that had come up. And recently my pastor at church had mentioned this verse, and it really stuck with me. I love it. It's in Hebrews 13, verse 5. It says, "Let your conduct be without covetousness. Be content with such things as you will have. For he himself has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper. I shall not fear. What can man do to me?" That's pretty powerful, because while this physical body can be hurt, that doesn't hurt me. That affects a couple years of my life. Big deal. My eternity is so much more valuable, and I love this promise. All throughout Scripture, we can see these type of promises that the Lord is with us and He'll never leave us. And He's our helper. We have nothing to fear. And also remember, if we're persecuted because of Christ, just remember, He was persecuted first. And we know that the world is going to judge us. But I have nothing to fear. What can man do to me? The Lord is my helper. So I love that. I love that verse. I wanted to share that with you. Are these done yet? Okay, great. Well, that's funny. This one's done installing. And this is actually a Surface Pro 4, not even a 6. This is a Surface Pro 4. It's finished, which is like kind of amazing considering this is like 4 times faster, but that's okay. So we can go ahead and get this one configured. Once that feature is installed, the wireless display optional feature is installed, we want to go up here into settings and type in project. We just have to set a couple settings real quick. You're going to see projection settings. Now, even without this installed, you will see this setting, but you're not going to have all these options in here to be able to configure it. So you can look through here. Basically, the first one is asking how, what do you want to permit this over? I always set this to available everywhere on secure networks. If it's always off, it's not going to work. And if you do available everywhere, then that could signify like on networks such as, I don't know, insecure networks that are not your own, it would work. Like Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi's at hotels or airports, and you don't want that. As to project to this PC, I put first time only because I don't want it to ask every single time that I tried to connect this feature. So first time only. Require PIN for pairing. I changed this to first time, but you can do always. I don't recommend never because then somebody could, if they're on your Wi-Fi, could start kind of messing with you. Not like maliciously, but somebody in your own home could kind of mess with you. I'm a joker, so I would do that sometimes, but I put PIN for the first time only. Okay, so this guy is all set up and ready to go. I can minimize this, and we're just gonna wait. This one is almost finished, and we just need to do the same thing over here. I guess while that's installing, I can show you real quick that if you were to go to the projection settings, you're not going to see all those options like I mentioned. So let's go back and just make sure that this is almost finished. There we go. Now it's finished, and now we can go back to projection settings, and you see these options all appear now. So same thing, project on secure networks, first time only, and first time for the PIN. Awesome, we're all set. Now, what you want to do is on the system that is going to be the main system, meaning the computer that you're going to project from, okay? So the system is this one. This is the main system. I'm going to work on this system, and I want to project it over to here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the keyboard so that we can see the full screen here. I don't want the keyboard even in the way a little bit. Let's get that out of the way there. And so now I am going to, sorry for the little notification on my phone there. So over here, I could have kept the keyboard connected, I guess, for this last step, but you can tap down here at the bottom, and you want to go to cast. So I'm going to tap on cast, and it's searching for available displays. Now over here, I'm going to do the same thing, except there is a keyboard shortcut. You can do Windows key K, and that brings up the cast option. You see here, Surface 4. That's my Surface. I named it JF Surface 4. I'm going to tap on it. Now you want to do that from this side. If I clicked on it on this side, you saw JF SB3 for the Surface Book 3, then it would suspect that this is the primary device casting to over here. But I want it to cast from here, I'm working here, over to here. Now we see the PIN number displayed. Awesome, I'm going to type that in. If you remember, I set it to the first time only, so this is the first time that I'm connecting the laptop to the wireless display. So I put in the PIN number, boom, it does the little magic thing there, and now we're connected. So as you see, it's duplicated my background. Angle this is a little better for you. It's duplicated the background. I have a software installed here to control backgrounds and Windows positioning, so that's why I just changed it. But let's open a window. So over here, I'm going to open my Windows Explorer. Actually, it remembered that I had it open over here last. And as you see there, my mouse just comes right over. I can move windows between the two, and it works just like that. Don't judge me that my drives are full. I just use this one. This is an SD card I use as a backup. By the way, that's a free tip for you. All Surface devices, you can, excuse me, you can have a micro SD card, and I always add one to the system to use as a backup drive of my main drive so that I don't lose anything. So that's a super easy tip. But as you see there, I can drag these windows between the two, and it's working. Just like that, no cable or any, no trickery, and you can do this on multiple displays. Now, if you want, you can even duplicate it. I have mine set to extend. So if you press the Windows key P, that brings up the projection settings, and you can duplicate. And that's going to mean that both screens are showing the same thing, because maybe you want to flip this around and show it to somebody else. And this way you're both seeing the exact same thing. Or extend mode, which means that it's going to operate as a second monitor to your main system. So how cool is this? You don't need a monitor per se. If you have another laptop already, you can use that as a second screen to your main device. Super cool. All right, so I'm going to disconnect. Here you can see it goes right back to the regular window. So we're done with this. Sorry, I just bumped the camera there. So we're done with this. I'm going to now show you the second part of this tech tip. And that is that, and by the way, I'm going to preface this by saying this is not a sponsored video in any way. Nobody has paid me to do this. I just like, what I'm going to show you, I just like it a lot. Okay, it is a phenomenal technology. It's a good company, pretty good price point, and they work awesomely. It's already kind of on the screen. You can't really see it because it's tucked away behind my laptop here, and it is a second screen made by Sidetrack. So I'm going to rotate this over, and it's connected to the back of my monitor via a magnet clip, and I'm going to show you that. I'm just going to connect this one USB-C cable to my laptop. It connects to the monitor. And just by plugging it in, Sidetrack does its thing. It gets power. It starts sending video signal. And boom, it comes right up. And there we go. So Sidetrack is a great option. Super lightweight. Again, it connects via this one cable. It's attached magnetically, which I'll show you in just a moment. And there you go. You have a second monitor that's always with you on your laptop, and it works great. You have little buttons over here if you want to increase brightness, you know, super simple. And again, very lightweight. Now, let's say that you want to use this to show somebody behind you. Well, you can just rotate it, and it auto detects that it's been rotated, so it adjusts itself, it flips the image. I can show that to you. I'm going to rotate it back, and watch, the image is upside down, and now it's going to detect that I rotated it, and it flips itself back over. Super cool. So I'm going to detach it. Again, magnetic clips on the plate on the back of my laptop, and you can use this as a kickstand. So maybe you just want it setting there, or you want to flip it around to show somebody behind you on the other side, or maybe you don't want to take it with you that day. You can take it off, stow it away, and you're done. This thing is super cool. They have different options. This is a 1080p version. They do have 4K versions, and again, it just attached magnetically, and there you go. And when you're finished, when you're stowing away your laptop for the day, let me just shut this down here so I can show you what it looks like. Let me just set my laptop down here. So when you're finished, you're just going to rotate this to protect the screen, and it folds right over. And it doesn't fall out. I mean, it is super good product and very lightweight. This thing is amazing. Doesn't damage the back. And this is a Surface. So if you know anything about Surfaces, it's a super thin tablet-oriented screen. And so if this thing was going to damage anything, it certainly would have damaged my Surface, and it doesn't. They're amazing, really great products. So I wanted to share that bonus tip with you just because, again, I've been using it a lot. It's super handy, very affordable. They have 4K models. They even have a dual setup screen where two of them pull out to the side. Really cool. Check them out. Sidetrack. I'll put a link in the description below. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this tech tip helps you out some ways. Sometimes there's other hardware, other devices in your home already that you can utilize without having to go out and buy something new. Certainly, if it's a dedicated setup and you want two monitors, no problem. I'm just letting you know that if you have another laptop, or if you have a laptop and a desktop, that maybe you want to use that laptop as a second screen. So hopefully this tech tip helps you out in some way. As always, if it helped you, give it a little like. Smash that like button, and I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye-bye.